They can make as much as a medical doctor at the age of 22 with no college degree required whatsoever. All they need are parents that love them. They need parents that love them enough to make a plan for them. So you got that newborn baby, that little grandchild, that little kid in your life that you care about. You invest for that child consistently, like that beautiful young lady that I met at the Get Money Fest, and you give that child a capital base. When by the time they're 20, they got $100,000. They can literally execute the strategy that I just mentioned. Well, that kid can literally pull $99,000 out of his portfolio and not even sell his stock because he's not selling the stock. He's selling the rights to the stock. When you're selling the rights to something, you're not selling the asset. You're selling the rights to it, which means that you're selling something that does not exist. That's what's crazy about it. That's why I love stock options. It is literally my favorite way on earth to make money. It is so great. So anyway, there's so many ways to make money. There's so many ways. So if you want to know what I talked about at the Get Money Fest, I talked about stuff like that. And I really think in general, if your goal is to have wealth and to have money, then gain awareness. You have to be aware. So many of us are financially unaware, like, yeah, I don't know what's going on, but you're aware of so many other things that add no value to your life. You're worried about, you're aware of the drama that's on the internet. You're aware of whether the Dallas Cowboys are going to beat the New York Giants. You're aware of something. Maybe you're a young man and you're aware of where the pretty girls live, so you can go get you some sex when you want to. I'm not blaming you, but that ain't going to really put a lot of money in your pocket. That's going to drain you. So you have to have some awareness of things that are going to benefit you. That's what I would say to you. So anyway, that's my 2 cents. All right. So by the way, in case you guys are not on the text list for our Money in the Morning financial consciousness training, just text the word morning to 87948. Text morning to 87948. We've almost hit capacity. So the morning sessions, the live sessions, you guys, if you're already on the list, you can continue to come for free. At a certain point when we hit capacity, there will be a fee to join the morning sessions. There is a fee also if you want to get the archive sessions. It's not that much. You can go to drboycedaily.com. But for these morning sessions, I don't want too many people it registered. So we are going to put a cap on that at some point. So text the word morning to 87948 and you can join us. The word morning is 87948. Also, one other thing too. Don't forget that if you want to there's a free training called How to Start a Business When You're Broke, and you can go to b1startup.com, the number one startup.com, and that's free. And if you'd like to start a business, just go to b1startup.com if that's of interest to you. Okay, so let me talk about credit cards real quick. It's so funny. I always start the day and I start off saying, okay, I'm gonna talk about this, and then my ADHD kicks in, and I really get genuinely excited about it. Like this is when I talk about stock options, I get excited. It's beautiful. It's exciting because professors know so much stuff that has very little real world value. Like they shove our brains full of all this other stuff that I wouldn't even bore you with because sometimes it has limited impact in terms of like what actually matters in the world. But even with stock options, there's like a billion other things I could tell you about the stochastic processes and the probability theory behind it and all that. But I'm not gonna bore you with that. I'm just gonna say this is a great way to get money. So this really actually excites me, not just because it's cool, it's applicable, it can change your life, and also it changes my life. I mean, it gives me. Give me 1 second. I'm not checking out till 12. Thank you. Sorry, I'm in a hotel. I'm still in Philly. I'm about to get on my airplane, so they're knocking at the door. All right. So let's see. Oh, the links to join the Prime program. Okay, yeah, Deborah, it's drboyceprime.com. That's drboyceprime.com. So I apologize for not sharing the link. I probably should have shared that. So yeah, if you want to join us in stock options training, go to drboyceprime.com. I would really honestly say that like I think this will be the quickest way to be able to generate consistent income, especially as a family. Like you get together as a family and you pile your money together and you execute the strategy. I've seen it work. It does work. All right. So anyway, so it's drboyceprime.com. Okay. So let's talk about credit cards really quick. And I'm gonna tell you first of all why credit cards are one of the great wealth drainers of our society. Credit cards are one of these things where again, another one of those financial vacuum cleaners. The capitalists, the thing about the kings of capital and the queens of capital, the people at the top of the capitalist food chain, is that they have they're like hunters, right? And if you think about it, in the jungle, when you have animals that hunt for other animals, the animal that is the hunter has a lot of awareness, right? He's very conscious, right? So the people that are hunters of money, which are the capitalists at the top of the pile, they're very much aware of the environment. They are economic hunters. So they're watching you, they're watching the environment, they're looking for the opportunities, almost like a lion that's going through the woods or a tiger or whatever that's hunting. They can smell things, see things, they're watching their prey. So to some extent, in capitalism, you are the prey, right? You are if you're the heavy consumer, especially with black people, they train us really heavily to be consumers. If you are the consumer, you are the prey. So they're trying to figure out like, okay, how do I hunt the prey? How do I figure out how to get more money out of the prey? And so credit cards are really a really powerful tool of these financial predators, and so there's some slick ways that they're able to really pull a lot of money out of you. And what makes it really sad about it, what makes me really sad about the process is that credit card companies don't really make their money from responsible credit card users. They don't make their money from the people that pay their bills on time and keep their debt low and don't live above their means. They don't make money from those people. The people they make money from are the people who are undisciplined, the people who are hurting, who are struggling, are people who maybe self-medicate through spending, right? They get these financial addictions, or like if you have some sort of vice like gambling or drugs that will keep you in financial turmoil. That those are the people that they tend to prey on, because what they'll kind of do is they'll say, "This is 100% free, except for when you pay late." And then if you pay late, we're going to whop you upside the head with a fee that will make your head spin. That's kind of what they do, right? And then what happens is that when you are late or you don't do what the contract says, then they come in and that's when they make all their money, right? So they don't make their money from regular people. They kind of make their money from people that are outside of the lines. And most Americans are not trained to be financially disciplined, so banks are able to really make a lot of money. It's much harder for them to do this in places like Europe because number one, there's more regulation, and then number two, the consumers are more disciplined. When I was doing research at the Center for European Economic Research in Mannheim, Germany, I spent the summer there in a long time ago. And I remember noticing data that said that Germans make less money than Americans. They pay more in taxes than Americans do, but they save 5 times more than Americans do. So they have a type of financial discipline that's implemented in their lives when they're very young. If you travel to other countries, one thing you'll find is that they educate people much better. They prepare them so much better financially. They really get them ready to make good, smart decisions because they actually make laws that are to the benefit of the population. In America, you don't have that. And the culprit is money. Money is what drives all this. So politicians get paid to serve corporations by making laws that don't benefit the people. They benefit the people that are paying their bills, the people that are helping them get elected. And so, for example, that's why I would argue that that's why they're sending $100 billion over to Ukraine and Israel, even though the American people never asked for this. There's not a single American I know who said, yeah, and all the problems that we have in America, we want you to send $100 billion over to this other country that has rich people already. They got rich people around the world. They can fund these wars, but for some reason we have to fund it too. So let's make sure that we ignore the failing infrastructure in America that requires billions in spending. Let's say we ignore the 35 trillion in debt that we got on our books. Let's say we ignore the fact that we owe African Americans $14.3 trillion for reparations, and we're going to just send the money to another country. That is a corporate interest if I ever saw one, maybe a strategic military interest, but it's certainly not in the interest of the American people, and people know this. So anyway, so here are some things